One more thing. Over time, Columbo became a stereotype for an on-screen detective. But before they made him into a nutty professor, he was aggressive, relentless, and his bumbling was all an act. Columbo is by no means an obscure TV show. It was highly successful and is still referenced in new works. But I'd like to sell you Columbo, or the first 7 series of it, at least. Columbo, the series, is unusual for media about crime in that it tells us who done it and how straight away. Lieutenant Columbo is usually the last main character of an episode that we meet, and the twist isn't one of identities or motives or suspects, but how Columbo entraps the murderer.
All right, Lieutenant. You claim that I planted these paintings? Suppose you prove it.
Can we?
Yeah.
Yeah. With fingerprints.
My uncle and I unwrapped them when they came back from the exhibit. I told you, didn't I? I told you myself. They're covered with my prints.
No, we're not looking for your prints.
He almost takes the role of antagonist in the way episodes are structured, appearing late and usually holding the position of power, where he makes things happen, where he forces his prey out into the open, where he is the predator. Before Columbo became a parody of itself when they revived it in the 1980s, Lieutenant Columbo wasn't a bumbling fool, but an incredibly passive-aggressive policeman, whose whole strategy was about flying under the radar, pretending to be suspects' friends, and Socratic questioning.
You don't really believe all those foolish things you say, do you?
I believe you killed Sharon Martin, and I believe you're trying to kill Dr. Heidemann. Would you mind signing this?
What do you want me to say?
Just put your name, that'll be good enough.
I think Columbo is especially interesting because Columbo is the only recurring element. There are no other repeating characters other than his dog, and even then that's fleeting. Columbo is the reason we watch, but as an audience we know almost nothing about him other than what he tells suspects, which I think is usually either embellished or completely made up. Famously, the detective refers to his never-seen wife, and I agree with the man playing Columbo, Peter Falk, with his assessment that in the first series, Columbo never actually had a wife. It was all a line he'd play to draw people out, or to seem amiable, or for some other reason.
I'm going to an affair, you see, so...
Oh, splendid, an affair, very nice.
Yeah, my wife, she's a Bolton lead. They're having this dinner dance. It's an annual thing, you know, $17.50 a couple. And
If you watch it trying to analyse Columbo as an analyser, if you try to observe the observer, you end up finding an incredibly well-drawn and well-acted character.
Columbo!
Mr. Kingston,
What are you doing here at this hour of the night?
is it night?
Yes, it is.
Gee, I must have fallen asleep here. I came in to read these books. Did you get your key?
Basically, if Columbo ever asks you more than 2 or 3 questions, save yourself some aggro and just confess. Alright, that really is the last one. See you later.
Why does the ice cream truck have to come just before lunch or just before dinner, ruin the child's appetite? I have to listen to that. I hear that 3 times a week.